I want to hook you up lovely with some nice places that you can find in New York City to enjoy your experience. Maybe you're moving here for the first time. Maybe you're visiting. New York City is a big place. It can be whatever you want it to be. There are a lot of different cities in New York City. I grew up here in the 90s and I moved away for a really long time and came back about 5 years ago. And I'm learning because there's all these new things that are here now that weren't here before. Some of the things I'm going to talk about include where to work remotely, where to go on a date, where to get dinner, where to go for a really nice walk, where the good museums are. And maybe I'll talk about less than that. Or maybe I'll talk about more. I don't know. I'm just guessing half the time.
Check how we moving with division in mind. I'm low side with my on division with slime.
Here are the things that I look for in a place that I like to patron in New York. There's something here for everybody. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the things that I prefer. If they intrigue you, then you might want to continue watching this video. If they don't intrigue you, then maybe I'm not the one to give you New York City hanging advice. Cocktails over beer, culture over games, produce over packaged food, spas over dives, intimate settings over concerts and crowds, spaces that have sort of a evidence of time that add to their character. Homey, moody, warm, dim lighting. If you love watching football at a team bar, I can't help you. I'm open-minded though. Tell me where you like to go. What do you like to do? What are the spaces that you like to hang out in? It could be in New York City, it could be another city. I'd love to know.
You trying to hit me, gotta get in the line. Better go and get you some business instead of dipping in mine.
It's a little bit cold here in New York right now. And it's the season to canoodle, if you will. So why don't we talk about a few dating spots for you and your special someone. Number one on my list, in no particular order, is Nighthawk Cinema in Williamsburg, Brooklyn. Nighthawk Cinema is a movie theater that serves cocktails and food to your table while you're watching the film. In my opinion, it doesn't really get much better than that. You know, you don't have to have a lot of chit chat. There's no, hi, I'm so-and-so. I'm going to be your server tonight. I would love to prove to you how charming and entertaining I am. No, it's just very transactional and very secret and quiet, and they do it in the dark, and I just think it's a great experience. I don't know if I explained this to you already in the beginning, but I like things to be a little like... Anyway, so Nighthawk Cinema. Get yourself some cheese fries, kick back, bring a date, have some fun. The second place on the list is a little bit of an occasion place. An anniversary or a special occasion. Or I don't know, maybe you're just feeling, you know? I don't know. The second one on my list is the Parlor Room in Midtown East. The Parlor Room is sort of a jazz age style, dimly lit whiskey bar plus restaurant in Midtown Manhattan. And what I like about it is the atmosphere. Coquettish, Parisian opera, fringe lamps, chandeliers, carpets everywhere, plush cushions with a massive whiskey and scotch selection, along with wines by the bottle or by the glass, and a nice selection of signature cocktails. Buy me a drink there. To add on to that, though, if you are looking for a place where I can advocate for the cuisine, would be Panatu in the East Village. Panatu is an Indian restaurant. I guess a lot of celebrities have gone there, and there's just lights and decorations hanging. You kind of have to like crouch to get through the place. It's very decadently decorated, and then you'll have to squeeze into the tiny bathroom in the back, and hopefully you don't get your eye poked out on the way there. Almost kind of comical. The food is amazing and the service is wonderful. Very attentive. They anticipate all of our needs, and everything was delicious. My last item, or the final place that I would suggest, would be Lunatico in Bed-Stuy. Lunatico is a New Orleans style jazz bar, and there's live music every night. It's a hole in the wall, so if you're planning on going there, you got to get there early. You cannot get there on time. But it's a very intimate setting, just kind of very warm and cozy, really small tables. You're kind of crunched up with everyone, but that's sort of the intimacy of the experience is part of the whole shebang. You're not really supposed to speak while the bands are playing as a sign of respect, so maybe it's not necessarily the first stop on a first date, but it certainly is a great place for anything after.
Been making plays, I'm finna dish 'em a dime. I feel my pocket vibrating, that show on the line.
Do. Places to unwind. These are the places where I go to relax, to recharge. Number one would be the Bathhouse in Flatiron. I love the Bathhouse. So Bathhouse is a spa, basically. It's got numerous saunas and numerous baths of a variety of temperatures. And the idea is you pay for a pass, and you stay there for several hours at a time. Both locations have a lovely cafe, so if you get hungry and you want to take a break, you can go get yourself a pastry or some wine, although I don't necessarily recommend drinking alcohol and using the sauna at the same time. So maybe that's something you save for the end. But in any case, it can be a long day experience. Number 2 is Renew Day Spa in Chinatown. There are so many great places to get an affordable massage in Lower Manhattan. So many, innumerable. So I think for every person who has a favorite massage spa, there's someone who has another one equally as good. This just happens to be the one that I like. But you can get yourself a couples massage or a full body massage for a really decent price compared to a lot of other places in New York. And every now and then it's just a requirement. I don't know how often you like to get massages. I don't get them that often, but I think they're really good for you. And this makes it an approachable treat. The last place on my list of places to unwind in New York City would be the Brooklyn Zen Center in, where is it? Is it in downtown Brooklyn? Brooklyn Zen Center in, you guessed it, Brooklyn. This is a place that I used to go to after work with a friend of mine weekly. Essentially, all it is it's just a handful of people who are equally as interested in meditation practice as you are, who sit in a room together for, I believe it was about 30 to 45 minutes at a time, and are just guided through a visualization. I really liked it. I imagine that this list will get longer for me as time goes on. If you are interested in hearing more about places to unwind in New York, and or ways to do so, let me know in the comments and I'll make another video for you.
You tryna hit me, gotta get in a line. Better go and get you some business instead of dipping in mine.
We did dates, we did unwind, best walk, shopping, no. The last section I'm gonna do will be on coffee shops. It's 2025. The labor market has changed. Many people are working remotely now. I am not one of them, so good for you. In any case, I remember when working at coffee shops first started to become in vogue in New York. I don't remember when this was. Must have been like early 2000s or something. I just remember there was so much dialogue around it and how obnoxious it was. I don't think having a laptop was as commonplace in New York as it is now. It certainly is still a privilege to have access to a mobile computer, but I think people just thought that folks were showing off.
Oh, so you can bring your laptop to the coffee shop?
It doesn't matter. In any case, I find it really useful to work out of coffee shops because I don't always associate my home with work. And I like for my spaces to serve different purposes. It helps me relax in one and activate in another. Maybe you're someone who doesn't have that much room in their house or doesn't have a separate room in their house. I have a lot of roommates, so sometimes I work from home, but from time to time, it's just better to get out of here. I've spent a lot of time traversing the city, finding really quiet, inspiring places to work where I can concentrate. And these are just a few on my list. And they don't include libraries. These are just coffee shops. So number 1 would be Cafe Reggio in the South Village. Disclaimer, it's not the quietest of all the cafes that I've been to. Cafe Reggio is less of a New York City coffee shop proper and more of a restaurant. I forget when it opened, but it's been around for a really long time. One of the things I like about it are its hours and its extensive menu, and the fact that although it does have a broad menu of things you can eat and drink and times that you can, of the day that you can visit and stay, it still has sort of a cafe vibe. But most coffee shops are not really open that late in New York, and often they only serve pastries and that's it. Cafe Reggio is great for those who enjoy people watching. If you need to take in a lot of inspiration from your environment, then this is the place for you. Similar to Cafe Reggio, my second pick for coffee shops would be Black Cat in the Lower East Side. It's got a similarly collage-esque sort of atmosphere on the inside. Not as broad of a menu as Cafe Reggio, but you can get yourself a pastry or something to eat. Plenty of coffee, things to drink, outlets here and there from time to time. The one thing I don't like about it, this is a con for me, this might be a pro for someone else, they host comedy on Friday nights. And I think they do it on, I think it's only Friday. No, I think they host comedy in the evening on a variety of nights. If I wanted to see comedy, I would go to a comedy club. Be yourself. All right, the last place I'll share with you on my list is somewhere where there's no comedy and there's no, person dressed as a banana walking around outside, typically. That is the Center for Fiction in downtown Brooklyn. The Center for Fiction is a bookstore. It's a really sweet place, stunning, massively high ceilings, much more modern than Black Cat or Cafe Reggio. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. They have a coffee shop on the ground level, but if you become a member, they give you access to sort of a workspace upstairs. And this area tends to be a lot quieter with communal tables where you can co-work with other members. They also have sort of an area that's set up like a living living room where there's no tech allowed. You could just read or write or do anything not tech related that's literary, which is quite nice. It's really nice that there is an area designated just for reading. I don't know any other place in New York that has an area that's like, this is just for reading books. They also have a patio outside where, you know, you can kind of like eat your cookie and enjoy the weather. It's like bittersweet that I'm sharing this with you because I feel like it's my little secret. I feel like all of these are my little secrets.
I used to talk a lot lately, lady, I listen.
But, you know, if you end up patroning any of these places, let me know. That's all I'm going to share with you today. If you liked this and you want to hear more, let me know in the comments. I would love to continue telling you about the little gems you can find in New York City. And tell me about your little gems. Don't hold out. I hope you enjoyed this, and like, share, subscribe, comment, interact, interface, and I'll see you in another video. Bye.